During the last all hands, you said that you trust Elon Musk. The correct quote was, "We trust him." So who is we? And talking to Elon, what made you trust him?
And based on the conversation I had with him when we were excited to have him join our board, that was because as a major shareholder and an opinionated user, we wanted that voice in our boardroom.
Good evening, my friends. The battle towards creating a free speech social media platform was won by Elon Musk as he purchased Twitter for $44 billion. Now, within moments of the news, the internet was filled with positive comments from Republicans, former President Donald Trump, media outlets, and even Twitter's co-founder, in a strange way, Jack Dorsey, who referred to the famous Radiohead song, "Everything in Its Right Place." However, as the celebration of free speech spread across the country, and quite frankly the world, surmounting fear of hate speech or misinformation began developing in the minds of Democrats, famous celebrities, senators, members of the Biden's inner circle, and the UK Prime Minister's office. In fact, Democrats are willing to cut off their finger to spite their hand, as they discuss the possibility of amending Section 230, which is exactly what President Donald Trump wanted to do. Now, the big question is, what will be the future of Twitter under the leadership of Elon Musk? Now, to begin, let's start with the man himself, who will now be the leader of yet another massive company, and understand through his own words his future plans on free speech and what effects it will have on Twitter. Now, don't forget to watch to the end, because we will also be talking about the damaging report that shows how Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram intentionally deleted around 646 accounts or posts that were criticizing President Biden and his son Hunter Biden. Okay, my friends, let's take a closer look together. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. In my view, Twitter should match the laws of this country. But going beyond that and having it be unclear who's making what changes to where, having tweets mysteriously be promoted and demoted with no insight into what's going on, having black box algorithm promote some things and not other things, I think this can be quite dangerous. If we look at these statements, it clearly shows that Musk did not approve of Twitter when it violated the laws of the country after permanently banning President Donald Trump for exercising his freedom of speech. This also means that Musk is in favor of bringing Trump back on the platform. Although he did not say anything specific about bringing the former president back, Trump has already expressed that he will be focusing on his Truth Social platform and will not be returning to Twitter. This is exactly what President Trump said. "I'm not going on Twitter. I'm going to stay on Truth. I hope Elon buys Twitter because he will make improvements to it and he is a good man. But I'm going to be staying on Truth. The bottom line is, no, I am not going back to Twitter." To ensure freedom of speech never gets violated on the platform like before, Musk has now declared his plans regarding the changes he wants to make. Let's take a look at these potential changes. First, let's start with new features. Musk said he's going to introduce new features in the platform. However, no further details were provided by him. If we rewind to the April 5th tweet made by him, it shows he conducted a poll with his followers asking whether they wanted an edit button. The results showed that 73.6% of those who voted were in favor of an editing button. Then there's the open source algorithm. Another great change Musk referred to consists of converting the platform into an open source algorithm so that more trust from the public could be developed in the company. An open source platform means any valid user who is capable enough to understand the coding behind the Twitter infrastructure is allowed to make sufficient changes in its algorithm that improves the user's experience. A valid user also has the right to use, study, and distribute the source code to anyone and for any purpose. This right provided to the public creates more trust in the platform than ever before. Then there's defeating spam bots and authenticating all humans. In January 2022, a 19-year-old boy, Jack Sweeney, created spam bots that were tracking Musk's plane every time it takes off or lands. This in fact creates a serious privacy risk for any high-profile individual in the world. As Musk is planning to destroy such spam bots, it seems Twitter platform is now heading towards a more secure path. With respect to authenticating all humans, Musk will be ensuring that every user on the platform has a blue tick in front of their profile, which means that the user has provided his or her valid government-recognized ID and other related documents to verify it is him or her, using the Twitter account before posting any tweet. Then there is the rule of temporary timeouts. As Twitter permanently banned Trump from the platform, Musk stated that he is not in favor of banning any user permanently. Instead, he would focus on imposing temporary timeouts for the targeted user. To be more specific, he said, "I am not saying that I have all the answers here, but I do think that we want to be just very reluctant to delete things. Just be very cautious with permanent bans. Timeouts, I think, are better than permanent bans." Now, according to the latest report published by the Virginia-based Media Research Center, big tech platforms including Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram were found to be heavily involved in deleting posts or even the accounts of 646 people who tried to criticize Joe and Hunter Biden. The report, spanning from March 2020 to March 2022, also revealed that out of those 646 posts or accounts, 140 of them were from the New York Post, who were attempting to inform the public about Hunter Biden's laptop and his corrupt dealings with foreign businesses. Twitter blocked the circulation of the story when the New York Post published a report about emails and other controversial material from the laptop that at the time was believed to be owned by Hunter Biden. Now that Musk has taken over Twitter, the hope is that the platform won't censor important news, no matter how explosive and incriminating it may be. Twitter is the town square, and the public has the right to hear the truth and the freedom to make up their own minds. But what surprises us the most is that despite Elon Musk's desire to maintain free speech in the country that is also provided to us by law, Democrats and other fearful individuals who are failing to understand this concept are doing anything possible to discredit Elon Musk. Many Democrats are claiming that Musk's dominance in the space arena as well as in social media is dangerous to our democracy. Senator Elizabeth Warren said, "Musk purchasing Twitter is dangerous for our democracy. It's a reminder why we need a wealth tax and why we need some serious regulation for big tech. One billionaire should not be able to turn the world upside down just because he plays by a different set of rules." Another statement was issued by the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, who is looking for loopholes in the Twitter deal to intentionally target Musk. He said, "I have got some concerns. I think it will have to go through some level of appropriate regulatory review, and I am doing some of my own checking." As the 2024 presidential elections will have a long way to go, members of the Biden inner circle and party strategists are already getting worried about misinformation that could spread from Twitter under Musk's leadership, which could eventually result in a presidential Biden defeat in 2024. Surprisingly, no one from the Biden inner circle is talking about the latest Media Research Center report that revealed how the Biden administration manipulated big tech companies in their favor when they had the controversial post about President Biden and his son Hunter Biden removed. Spokesman for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's office stated that, regardless of ownership, all social media platforms must be responsible. That includes protecting users from harm on their sites. It is too early to say what, if any, changes will be made to how Twitter operates. Moving on to the European Union Commissioner for an Internal Market, Thierry Breton, he issued a direct warning to Musk by stating that the European Union will charge 6% of the revenue of the Twitter company, or could also ban it from operating in Europe if it fails to comply with their laws. Furthermore, he said, anyone who wants to benefit from this market will have to fulfill our rules. The board of Twitter will have to make sure that if it operates in Europe, it will have to fulfill the obligations, including moderation, open algorithms, freedom of speech, transparency in rules, obligations to comply with our own rules for hate speech, revenge porn, and harassment. Not to forget some of the famous celebrities like Jamila Jamil and author Amy Siskin expressed anger after Musk taking over Twitter. Jamila Jamil was so devastated by the Musk takeover that she will be departing from the platform. Here's what she said. Looks like I'm about to say goodbye to Twitter as well. I've been pulling back a bit from social media anyway. This will be just the push I need to go all the way on this app. Left-wing activist Amy Siskin, who has a following of 550,000 people on Twitter, is also considered leaving. This is what she said. People need to understand that this is no longer a public company. Every post you make here is free content to enrich one man, Elon Musk. He is completely in control and answers to no one. I don't view him as a mentally stable person. However, former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey expressed joy after Musk took over Twitter. He said Elon's goal of creating a platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is the right one. This is also Parag Agrawal's goal and why I chose him. Thank you both for getting the company out of an impossible situation. This is the right path. I believe it with all my heart. And that's it for today, my friends. Now, don't forget, please like and share, and most importantly, join our member site and support the mission to deliver truthful information. I'd rather depend on the generosity of you, people I can trust, than ever depend on YouTube again. Thank you all for spending time with me, and I'll see you next time.